So, Sarah Dawn Moore's recent comeback, as I just discussed in part one, her comeback wasn't timing. It wasn't done out of compassion. Again, as I said, it was cold hard calculation based on grifting after the Charlie Kirk assassination. And if you haven't seen part one, go back and watch it. Which raises the question: how does someone with no credentials, no track record, and no professional service, no professional education, no training, how do they get men and suddenly appear and get more attention after disappearing for an entire year? For the most part. Again, she hadn't posted in over a year. That's what we're going to pick up with here in part two. It's the hot chick effect. And we're still just at the beginning of this deep dive, so I realize that I do have a tendency to ramble on, but please stick with me, because over the course of this full expose, I'll continue to break down Sarah Dawn Moore's whole gig wide open, from the hot chick effect that we'll do here in part two, to the illusion of authority, lack of credentials, the $1,000 funnels, how sex is used as her hook, and the contradiction of teaching masculinity while embodying just the opposite, I think, along with the fake intimacy that she sells, and finally, the receipts versus the reality. So by the end of this full dive, I think that you'll see that the full grift for exactly what it is. So why does Sarah Dawn Moore get attention in the first place? It's not credentials. We'll look at that in an upcoming part. It's not training, as I mentioned. It's not years of experience in therapy or psychology training. I contend that it's, again, as I said, the hot chick effect. Scroll through Sarah's channel for 5 seconds. I'm looking up here right now, some of her content. Scroll through some of this for a few minutes, and what you'll find is thumbnails with cleavage pushed way out, way too low, low-cut tops, hair curled and flowing, and seductive smiles, and text that's slapped on like, women want these things and she likes you, and nice guys always do these things, right? It's like a list, a checklist. If you just follow it, then she'll give you all of the answers. The body and the thumbnails sell what she believes is her authority. The look creates trust. And here's the déjà vu again. I know that I mentioned this in part one, but again, this is exactly what we saw, the same playbook from Sadia Kahn. Sexy poses, endless glam shots, outrageous coaching fees, and not a credential in sight. So Sarah here, it's just a different name, but it's the same hustle. And these women, they all know exactly that if they package sexual appeal as coaching, many men, I would argue the weak ones, will hand over their trust and their money without even asking for evidence, qualifications, or proof of outcomes. Now listen, I believe that Sarah knows exactly what she's doing with her video images and her titles. In one thumbnail, it's bright red lipstick, and in another, it's a video in which she apparently conveniently forgets that she has 4 more buttons on her sweater. In fact, let's here take a look at one of these. Yep, that's one video. Another one. There's another video. You tell me this woman doesn't know what she's doing? Another one. Right? You get the idea. So, I think that if we strip away all those sexy visuals and slap the same titles on a thumbnail that's a video from a middle-aged woman in a polo shirt, guess what happens? The clicks would tank. They would just simply disappear. But because Sarah is an attractive and seductive woman, suddenly now the nice guy behaviors, they rack up 70,000 views. She has, I forget, 400,000 subscribers, something like it. It's a lot. And to guys, they hear 5 things that women wish men knew about sex. And it pulls in 53,000 views because sex sells. And her body is the billboard. Just like Sadia Kahn, and I know I keep referencing that, but there are many others. I just keep saying Sadia because it was the most recent example that guys are familiar with right now. But it's countless others. And this works twofold. First, it pulls in the casual click, right? Guys that are going to watch this stuff right here just for the visual. They want to see a hot woman on a screen, and then what they do is they assume that she must know what guys want and what women want and how to put all of that together. And the second thing is it frames Sarah and also the others as an authority simply because they're attractive. And again, men think that if she looks like this and she's talking about what women desire, she must know better than I do. And that's the hot chick effect in full display and totally unashamed, I think. If you have a look at Sarah's site, you'll notice that she even doubles down. She has headlines like "Work with me directly," and memberships with languages like "Unlock your potential" and "Step into masculine polarity." Seriously? Sarah, you're going to tell me how to step into my masculine polarity and charge me $1,000, $997 to do it? She claims that she's going to help men build confidence that women crave, and all of it wrapped in glamour shots with her hair professionally styled. Jewelry is shining and polished, even positioning her arms and her posture. And it's all pulling men in without a hint of credentials. It's intimacy disguised as expertise with no diplomas, no certifications. Again, we'll get into this in just a little bit. It's just images that say, trust me because I'm sexy and I've got cleavage. And that's the manipulation that I really want to help guys understand. If guys can be distracted by cleavage or on a thumbnail or a smirk in front of instead of a credential, then they've already been seduced for the sales funnel. And it's good. Pardon me, it's good, believe me. It's well done. Let's say the loud part out loud, or the not often enough loud part out loud. Her clients are not buying information. What they're doing is buying the illusion that this beautiful woman, I think she's pretty. She's better than mid. Some of you, I know I'm going to get comments, this woman is ugly and everything. She's not an ugly woman. Right, but there's this illusion that this beautiful woman sees them and understands them, and she can help them to get other women just like her. It's the same way that many other clickbait female coaches dangle their curves and make just the right camera angles while charging men thousands of dollars. I mean, hell, Sarah here is, I think, $1,000 for her plan. Sadia was charging $6,000, if I understand correctly, for what they refer to often as insider secrets, right? So Sarah's running the same script, the same game as all of these other grifters and gurus. It's just a different sales funnel. They all rely on sex to masquerade as science and that they know exactly what they're doing. They say that they know what men want, and then they package their own attraction as advice, and men stop asking questions often, too frequently, and they start handing over a week's worth of income. So when you hear Sarah and again the others, when they talk about wanting to heal the divide between men and women, and believe me, that's a sales pitch as well. Please understand that what's really happening is that is the divide. Oops. Let's go on to another one here. I'll give you a little Sarah show. Keep the show going, right? At least give you guys a chance to see what she's got to offer. Anyway, where was I? Oh, so the divide is the product, right? And the attraction is the product. And the sex appeal, that's their hook. So we exposed Sadia Kahn. Look for my full deep dive onto Sadia and that debacle. But it's all the same formula. And now it's Sarah Dawn Moore standing in the same spotlight after her comeback less than a week ago, and just a day or two after the Charlie Kirk assassination tragedy. As I mentioned in part one, I don't think it's anything more than a way to prey on men's vulnerability. It's an absolute grift. Sarah's back, everybody. She's here to help all of you guys. But really, it's all just different methods. It's all the same gift in different wrapping. So in part 3, what I'll do is I'm going to peel back the surface layer completely to have a much closer look into what Sarah Dawn Moore really has to offer men. Because once we remove Sarah's risque video titles and her thumbnails and the cleavage that they're all there to watch, what's left is really nothing but big claims with no qualifications.